Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. In Trinidad and Tobago's Ascension Football Tournament is into its 15th match week. This is how the table looks ahead of match week opener between Deportivo Point Fortin and AC Port of Spain at 6 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time. At the top of the table, we have the Horquetta Rangers on a total of 38 points. Police FC, having played 14 matches, now sits second on 33 points. Defence Force also played 14 matches. They have a total of 31 points. And in fourth position, Deportivo Point Fortin, PF, a total of 30 points. In eighth position, Real West Sport, having played 14 matches also, a total of 11 points. Central FC in ninth position and Moruga FC in 10th. They only have 1 point from their 14 matches. Well, these are the other games on the weekend schedule. Deportivo Point Fortin up against AC Port of Spain. La Horquetta Rangers will be seeing the police officers. Canopia up against Central FC. Defence Force will play Central Soccer World. And Real West Sport up against Moruga Football Club. So George and Lance, what we do know for sure is the Ascension Football League from the start of the competition to now has had some riveting action, some amazing performances from the top teams. Let's talk about the big clash between the Rangers and Police at 8 p.m.
Yeah, we're going to get goals. If you give us the table again, Mr. Producer, I want to point out something to support my claim, bold, that we are guaranteed goals in this game. Because if you look at the table, not the match week. Here we go. Thank you very much. The Rangers, 58 goals, 14 games. That's over 4 goals per game from the Rangers. Police in second are just under 3. 3 4s 12, 3 1s 3 and 1 4, 42. So they're just a touch under 3 goals per game. So you have two teams that together you're looking at potentially a 7 goals in the game if you want to do it as linear as that. It is a guaranteed thriller, and even if that were not the case, even if they weren't as free scoring as they are, it is a top of the table clash, so you'll be guaranteed a very, very, very competitive contest. The fact is, though, that the Rangers, who at one time were only leading by goal difference, over the weeks steadily they've galloped stronger than everybody else, because now they have put a 5-point gap between themselves and Police in second. So it appears on paper as if the Rangers have this league at their mercy. And in any competition you have in a football competition where one team is scoring over 4 goals per game, when you've played 10 or more games, that is an outstanding team. The Rangers are an outstanding team. Police are best of the rest. It's going to be a game worth dropping other hobbies to sit down and watch.
Lance, do you think Police has what it takes to narrow that 5-point gap between them and the Rangers?
Their consistency would give them a look in here, but to support George's point about the likelihood of a lot of goals tonight, apart from the fact that they are regular high scorers, in the first round when these two teams met, Rangers defeated them by 4 goals to 2, so it was a 6-goal game. A lot of goals then, and we expect more goals again tonight. But based on consistency, it's hard to see Rangers relinquishing the advantage here. To Police's credit, though, they have been among the top 3 from the very start of the league. Defence Force were a little ahead of them early on, but they have always been among the top 3, this Police team. And I think they have enough quality to keep Rangers honest, but to close the 5-point gap, based on what we have seen so far, Rangers appear to be too steady and too consistent to relinquish the advantage.
Yes, and Terminix, if we can see the table again, they can go 8 points clear of Police with 3 matches remaining. So if we look at the points table, if Terminix continues to win their matches, there's a possibility that they can unseat Police for second position. So another team to watch very, very closely.
Well, if you also look at Defence Force in third, there you go. Defence Force in third, 43 goals. They are the second most prolific team in the league. And look at their goal against. They have the best defensive record. And they score freely because they are going at over 3 goals per game. Yeah. Just a touch above 3 goals per game.
They are defense force.
Well, there you go. Sturdy in the back. Yes, very, very sturdy.
Good one, lad.
The plus 30. Look, Defense Force, usually these numbers would tell you that a team is in contention for a championship. But their problem has been draws. the draws that they've had, the 4 draws, I mean, they have drawn more games this season than anybody else, Defence Force, and they would have blotted their copybook by virtue of how many games they've not managed to force the win in.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, on the offensive front, they statistically, Horquetta Rangers are in a different league to everybody else. But but Defence Force scoring 3 goals per game and only letting in less than 1 goal per game, better than anybody else. That's awesome form. That's championship winning form. But the draws have conspired to weigh them down.
What's for sure is the top 4. You can see the distance that they've set themselves apart from the rest of the team, because a total of 15 points separating AC Port of Spain from Deportivo, which is in 4th position. So you can see also a massive gap in quality if we are to study the table even closer.
That is correct. There are 4 outstanding teams, and the other 6 teams are struggling, grouping for real form and consistency. And I would like to look at if I look at the fixtures into the end of the match week 18, to see who Moruga will play last. By the time Moruga gets to match week 18, I'm certain they would have let in 50 goals already this season.
Wins.
So and 0 wins. So the fact is that they are the proverbial whipping boys. And, I'm sure the Moruga lads can't wait for the season to be over.
The Moruga's weak defence too is also elevating the scoring tally of the top teams.
The top 4, yeah.
Rangers had beaten them, I think, 11-2 in their first round meeting, and Defence Force beat them 8-0. So part of the reason why the top teams are so prolific on the scoring end is because there's Moruga.
Giving up freeness.
Giving it that's it.
Well, what's for sure is we have some mouth-watering matches, as we said at the top of this segment. And of course, all of it will be live on SportsMax. And if you haven't downloaded the app just yet, you can head across and do so. We take a quick break. We have so much more to talk about. Stay with SportsMax on YouTube and follow us on all social pages for updates, news and entertainment.